everybody, I'm dead. I did not, I've never had a nosebleed. Can you believe? I don't know how. I've just never had a nosebleed. I don't even know what nosebleeds feel like. I have bled out of my ears before though. So I guess that's like the universe's way of like making up for me never having a nosebleed is I had to bleed through my ears, which was awful. Moka has moist nasal passages. I do. That's the thing. I have like a very moist mouth and I have very moist like ears and nose. And so I get ear infections a lot. And I get like stuffy noses a lot. Bleeding from your ears is very serious. Yeah, you want to know what makes it even better? It was Christmas Day and I had to go to the hospital. And so yeah, that was a fun Christmas. It was crazy because I was at like my extended family's house and my ears were in like such horrific pain. I was just kind of curled up on the couch dying. And I just remember my cousin. My cousin's a goat, by the way. He's also a streamer. It runs in the family. He was like, are you good? And I was like, that was not great. And then my aunt, she was like one of those like home remedy, herbal remedy peeps, you know? And so she came up with this like little oil concoction and she put it in my ears and it made it a lot worse. It made everything worse. Do you ever get a double ear infection? All the time. All the time. I get ear infections so often. Especially in the wintertime. In the wintertime, it's when it's like really, really bad. But like I said, I have very moist like orifices. I guess that my mouth and my nose and my ears are just very, very wet. All the time. All the time, okay? And I'm not trying to be sussy. It's just true. I do get throat infections and like my throat gets like really, really sore. That's why it's hard to sing all the time. Crazy Moka lore. Moka is wet all the time. Yes, wet 24/7. I should be a CV tuber. I should be a CV tuber with how wet I always am. But the thing is I think I could never be a CV tuber. Because I feel like there's too many CV tubers already, you know? A CV tuber, like ocean-themed VTuber. Because there was Gura. I'm sorry, too soon. That was way too soon. I'm so sorry. There's Bao, there's Shy Lily. There's probably a million more. I think if I was an ocean-themed VTuber, I would be maybe a turtle. I don't think I've ever seen a turtle VTuber.
Having to Google everything you say, and I'm pretty sure none of it is a real word.
Fidel? I mean, okay, yeah, I guess that's true. I think I'd also like to be like a jellyfish VTuber, but I have a friend and she's a jellyfish VTuber. So I feel like I'd be encroaching on her territory a little bit there. What other sea animals? Like maybe a seahorse? Or, I don't know, I'd want to be, like, something scary, you know? A shrimp? There's so many shrimps already. I know, like, 3 I'm, like, mutuals with 3 shrimps. Krill? Krill is pretty much just a shrimp. Krill, I could be a sea sponge. Just a SpongeBob VTuber. What other sea animals are there? I mean, dolphin, maybe. A seal. I do love seals. Seals are very, very cute. Plankton. That's funny. Orca. See, there's already like a big orca VTuber though. That's the thing is like, I feel like if I had the same kind of branding as a VTuber that's already like huge, you know? Like, not to say there can't be 2, but like it's like the niche is already filled. I also like, I think specifically orcas, I feel like there's so many people who take inspiration from Shy Lily, and it's like there's no problem with taking inspiration, but I think you're limiting yourself if you do that, because there's so much more possibilities out there, you know? And if you're taking heavy inspiration from someone who's already super duper famous, then you're gonna hit a ceiling. That's my opinion, okay? God forbid a VTuber has an opinion, you know? There's so many fish in the sea. There's a lot of fish in the sea. To be Mokaroki. A lamprey? I've never heard of a lamprey. I have to look this up. Thank God, this is like something I've seen. Have I seen this in hentai before? I swear I've seen this in hentai before. Seahorse Mpreg. That's so true. This is Mokaroki's VTuber agency. Like these are the talents I would produce. A male VTuber and his Oshi mark is the Mpreg emote. Wouldn't that be so good? I have thought about, I was talking with my bestie about how I need more money to do this first, but I want to basically produce either one VTuber's career or I want to do like a unit. But that's a lot of work and a lot of money, so maybe one day. He can never have the baby or his belly image will be ruined. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I do want to like help people and like help produce VTuber careers because I do have like good ideas. So like I want to do something where I basically fund a model and a debut. And I basically, I guess not, I don't want to say manage because I'm not qualified to be like a manager, but just guide them, give them advice. Mentor? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe one day, probably like when I retire, that's what I'll do in like 20 years when I retire.